What's up everybody, this is Master Ian Gamer, and today I'm going to be taking a look at the story of Reaper. As many of you have likely already seen, Jeff Kaplan recently commented on the backstory of Reaper, and that got me thinking. So I sifted through past comics and developer quotes and found that we may actually be able to piece together quite a bit more about the character than we first realized. So let's take a look at what exactly lies behind that mask and see if we can't predict what Blizzard might soon reveal. Real quick though, if this is your first time on my channel, then don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications. Anyways, back to Reaper. So for starters, let's take a look at what exactly Jeff said in this most recent mention. In response to a forum post questioning the absence of Reaper's lore, he responded with a comment saying, "Reaper is absolutely central to the game's story. We're excited to reveal more about his worldview and who he is as a person. Sorry that these things take time to develop. We're moving as fast as we can." So while this doesn't tell us anything specific about Reaper, it does tell us that Blizzard is planning to specifically focus on him as a character, quite possibly in the near future. I'll talk more about what we might see and when a little later, but first I want to delve into what has technically already been revealed to piece together as much of the image as we can. Now, as I'm sure everybody already knows, Reaper's real name is Gabriel Reyes, and he was one of the original founding members of Overwatch, as well as the head of the Blackwatch division. His feud with the head of Overwatch, Jack Morrison, culminates in an explosion at the Swiss HQ, which leads everyone in the Overwatch universe to presume that both are dead. We, of course, know that this isn't the case. However, we are not exempt from our own misconceptions. When people discuss how Reyes first became the Reaper, many point to either the Swiss HQ incident, or more recently, the experimentation we've seen him undergoing at the hands of Moira. And while Moira almost definitely played a part in him becoming what we see in-game, we know for a fact that she isn't the origin of his Reaper persona. And that's because the Reaper has existed possibly even before Overwatch was ever formed. Now, I only came to realize this myself a short while ago while doing research for my Liao theory video, which I encourage you to check out if you haven't already. Anyways, according to the Overwatch timeline, the first appearances of the Reaper were from 20 plus years ago. This would mean that Reyes existed in his Reaper form at least 14 years prior to the Swiss HQ incident and subsequent fall of Overwatch, and at least 11 years prior to Moira being recruited into Blackwatch. So naturally, I had my suspicions. This Overwatch timeline was compiled by the community after all, so maybe they just misdocumented something. Thus, I did my own investigation and found that, sure enough, according to Reaper's official bio on the Play Overwatch website, he is described as being a black-robed terrorist who has fought in many armed conflicts in the last decades. That's right, decades. Meaning that the 20 plus years ago frame is a minimum, and for all we know, it could be spanning upwards of 30 plus or even 40 years. But yet again, I had my suspicions. As we've seen recently, the Overwatch story hasn't been the most coherent with regards to timeline consistency. After all, according to Brigitte's build-up teasers, Mercy was no older than 14 when she was recruited into Overwatch. But with regards to Reaper's bio, we actually have an official comment from lead writer Michael Chu regarding what it says. When asked if it was indicating that Reyes was in fact Reaper prior to the fall of Overwatch, I'll let you draw your own conclusions, but the wording on Reaper's bio is intentional. For me, this seems as official of a confirmation as we will get, meaning that both Moira and the Swiss HQ explosion cannot be the origin of Reyes' strange ghostly abilities. But if that's the case, then who or what is? To answer this, let's take a look again at what the Overwatch developers themselves have said about Reaper. This quote I'm about to show comes from a Wired interview with the previously mentioned Michael Chu. I actually made a video a while back going over everything important in this interview, but for now I just want to focus on this one bit referencing Reaper and Moira.
Moira has a lot of relationships to different characters in the Overwatch story. Moira was part of Blackwatch, so she knows everyone who is in the Blackwatch organization. She was specifically recruited by Reyes because Reyes sort of identified her talent with genetics, and Reyes might have had some genetics issues that he wanted some scientific help with.
Now, not only do we know why Moira was brought into Overwatch, but also Reyes had some genetics issues that he was apparently dealing with at the time, and likely still is today. This is even further supported when we take a look back at his bio, which also states that it is possible that he is a byproduct of failed genetic alteration, which forces his cells to simultaneously decay and regenerate at a hyper-accelerated rate. This seemingly explains what he's going through, but I think there's more at play with regards to who, how, and why. Now, believe it or not, this next piece of the puzzle isn't actually that hard to find. All one must do is look at what Reyes was up to prior to Overwatch, and there we have it. The United States Soldier Enhancement Program. This controversial and highly classified government program was designed during the Omnic Crisis to produce super soldiers with superhuman speed, strength, and agility. Both Reyes and Morrison were successful products of this program, which is why they were perfect candidates for starting Overwatch. While we know very little regarding the specifics of the Soldier Enhancement Program, it certainly is within the realm of possibility that they were conducting genetic experiments. Morrison himself even hints at this in the Old Soldiers comic, after meeting up with Anna. She comments on how lucky he is to be alive, and Morrison responds by saying that his old boss used to say that there's no such thing as luck, just good genetics. Now, given Morrison's former position as head of Overwatch, the last time he ever would have had a boss per se must have been back during his time in the Soldier Enhancement Program. Therefore, at the very least, genetics is something that they must have been considering and likely tampering with, meaning that more than likely they were the ones who brought about Reyes' genetic issues. After all, this wouldn't have been long before Winston's own genetic therapy, which we know did in fact produce some amazing results, thus indicating the high potential of genetic manipulation within the Overwatch universe. So now that we've taken all this information into account, what does it mean? Well, delving more now into my own speculation, I think that Reyes underwent some much more experimental testing than Morrison did. While Morrison's boosted his basic physical abilities, such as being able to run faster, the program may have had something different in mind for Reyes. The constant decay and regeneration of his cells allow him to take on a ghostly form, which is perfect for both stealth and avoiding damage. Looking once again at his bio, the Reaper is described as ghosting unscathed through the most hellish battlefields, meaning that in some way or another, he might be canonically invincible. We know he can still be hurt by less conventional weapons, such as Winston's Tesla cannon, but otherwise being immune to conventional bullets while also capable of insane stealth is certainly something that the US would have wanted from its Soldier Enhancement Program. So now that we've analyzed Reaper's origin, I guess that's all there is to talk about until Blizzard gives us some more information. Or is it? To be honest, I think that there's actually a lot more that we can speculate about Reaper based on what we already know. For example, why did he become a ruthless killer? Why did he join forces with Talon? And perhaps most importantly, what is the significance of this family, as seen in the Overwatch Reflections comic? I've got theories covering all these, as well as predictions for when we might see Blizzard reveal more of Reaper's backstory, so be sure to stay tuned to my channel for that video coming soon. And if it's already uploaded by the time you're watching this video, then you can find a card linking to it on screen here. But otherwise, thank you all for watching, and let me know your own thoughts about Reaper's origin and backstory in the comments below. Be sure to leave a like if you enjoyed this video, and subscribe, follow me on Twitter, and turn on notifications to both help out my channel and keep up with all my future Overwatch content. This is Master Ian Gamer signing off, and until next time, have a great day.